Good morning. I'm here with a new pistol which I got from Pel Packs. It's the Crosman 1377. It's a 177. I'll show you the actual bit of data on the back. Not an awful lot of data. So I'm going to run through this as quickly as I can. I don't want it too long. The manual is a typical Crosman manual, basically just a sheet. Tells you everything you need to know. We've got the pistol itself. It's a multi-pump. It's a pump from 3 to 10. It does vary in power. It doesn't do as much power as I thought on 10 pumps, but it's more than adequate as a target pistol. So you've got your rear sight. You notice it's a peep and a groove. You can actually flip it over. It's very basic. It has no windage adjustment. Okay. You can actually undo that screw there and adjust it for windage left and right, but it just gives you a little bit. But even on full, see, I've moved it fully over to the left, and even then it is shooting to the right still. Okay. Basic foresight. This sight picture isn't too bad. I'd like the front blade to be a little wider, so the distance to air either side would be better. Your safety is there, so that's on, and then you flick it through. That's off. You can take the grips off, and you've got a spring in there that actually cocks the sear. Out the box it's about £5.5, quite high, but you can easily adjust these. I've got 2240 and a 2310 my wife, and just basically just give this spring a little squeeze, not too much, maybe just one coil, and that'll reduce the pull. And this is doing about £2 now release, which is really nice. So yeah, to pump it, you'll just do 3 pumps here. Yeah, you can cock the bolt, pop your pellet in there, put the bolt forward, and then you can fire it. You can dry fire these, so this is obviously empty, so you'll see the trigger. So you've got a little bit of play there, and then just squeeze it and it goes really precisely. And all these Crosman triggers, like 20, are all basically the same. So that's £2 pull. It makes it much more shootable, definitely. So looking at this performance, this is the actual chronograph results. So I did 3, 5, 7 and 10 pumps with the Superfields 8.3 grain, and that's the performance I was getting. So basically I was getting yeah, about 3 foot-pounds with 10 pumps, which to me is too much effort. 5 pumps, yeah, I think it's more manageable. I'm getting 1.95 foot-pounds energy. I did try 2 of the pellets, some 7 grain and some H&N 8, which are 8.4 grain. Yeah, and they're roughly about the same sort of power output. Maybe a little bit more with the actual lighter pellet, but not a lot. So 3 foot-pounds from 10 pumps, it's not a lot. I sort of expect really like 4 or 4.5, and you only get basically an extra foot-pound with the extra 5 pumps. So I'll be sticking with 5 pumps. Okay, accuracy wise, now as I said, it was shooting to the actual right. So out the box, this is semi-rested, 5 shots with the Superfield, and see, I was aiming there, but they're grouping in a circle. Okay. So that's quite a long way out. So I thought, well, is it accurate? So basically I did the same again semi-rested, but this time I actually aimed over here and they grouped there. That's 5-shot grouping, which is quite good actually. Yeah, semi-rested. I then actually went outside and I tried some Barracuda lights. Again, aim point again was actually there, and again they were grouping there. So it wasn't just the pellet, it was the actual pistol itself. So what I did, I moved that sight as far over as I could. You know, you can just do that screw and just kink the actual rear sight over. But even then, it was still shooting to the right like that. So what I did, I actually viewed it with the actual foresight right over on the left-hand side of the actual rear sight, and I got a group central like that. So what I should probably do with this pistol, because it is shooting quite a lot to the right, is I shall make a couple of new rear sights, yeah, out of some sheet metal. I've got some thin sheet metal, and I shall make a peep sight with an offset circle and also an offset groove one as well. So I'll be able to take that out and slot the new one in, and then it'll shoot almost bang on then. Okay, so yeah, these are really affordable. These are made in China now, unfortunately. They're not made in America, so it says, you can see that, made in China. But yeah, a lot of things are made in China. I must prefer the ones that are made in America, because I think the quality of the steel is much better. But like a lot of things, yeah, they get shipped out for cheapness. Yeah, it seems reliable. Like I said, power wise, not fantastic I don't think for 10 pumps. But it's quite easy, like I said. It's easy to do 5 pumps, yeah. That'll give you 5 foot-pounds, sorry, 2 foot-pounds from 5 pumps. Yeah, trigger is now nice and light, really. 2 pound pull, just by compressing that spring a little bit. Yeah, just take this side up and just take the spring out. Don't overdo it, because if you do and the spring is too light, then you won't be able, it won't cock the sear, okay? Because there's not enough pressure on the spring. And I found 2 pound is probably as close as you can get it. You won't really get it any less than that, because it won't have enough energy in the spring to cock the sear when you cock the bolt, okay? It just won't cock. And not only that, you'll end up with a hair trigger. So the best thing to do is pump it, cock it, dry fire it, give it a tap on something hard, make sure it doesn't go off, which is safe. This is a safe setting on this one. Okay, so you can get a steel breech for these, and put a steel breech on. I won't be doing with this. I already have a steel breech on my 2040. I did upgrade that, and so you can put an actual proper target sight on it. But yeah, these are cheap, affordable, and yeah, they've got a small grip. The trigger's in the right position. They're a little front heavy. I think this did weigh this. I don't know what the weight is on the box, but I weighed it at 868 grams. Yeah, so that's round about 2 pound. So it's not overly heavy. It's a little front heavy, but you could get youngsters to shoot this under supervision, because the grip is right and the trigger is nice and light, and it's in a perfect position for a youngster as well. See how much kink I've got on my finger, which means a youngster could shoot this no problem. You know, the actual trigger pull distance would be ideal. Okay, obviously you'd pump it for the youngster, and also you'd let them cock and load it and teach them you know, gun safety. But yeah, definitely not overly heavy. You know, a youngster could hold it like that even, you know, and shoot it like that. That's not a problem for a youngster, you know, once you pumped it. Okay, so that is the 1377. They do a 1322, which is a 22 caliber, but you can't seem to get them in UK. I prefer 22 pistols, but unfortunately I couldn't get one. But yeah, this seems to shoot pretty well, and I think once I actually make the new sight at the back, I think it'll be much better. Definitely be able to shoot it more accurate. I mean, the final shot I did, actually one of them was freestanding. Yeah, this shot here was 10 shots freestanding. This is with the way I moved the target, the foresight across to the rear side like that, and I've got 10 shots there freestanding. I didn't quite get the height right all the time, but there's 8 shots in the centre freestanding at 10 yards, which is pretty good, yeah, out the box. So there you go. So 1377, yeah, really nice pistol. Just shame it's made in China, but hey, as long as it's reliable and it's accurate, the barrel's good, that's the main thing. So hope you like the little review. Take care, and thanks for watching.